A warm welcome to everyone joining us from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever is it that you are. On behalf of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, we welcome you to the biggest global summit of the year with the theme of changing paradigms in a pandemic world, how to regain trust. The World Forum for Ethics in Business is a public interest foundation registered in Belgium. The mandate of the forum includes all manners of pursuing and establishing the indispensable ethical foundations of business in a globalized world. Today, on the occasion of World Health Day, the World Forum for Ethics in Business has invited leading experts like those on our panel today to put into perspective the current ethical and other implications and consequences of the pandemic on our health, our work, and our life. On this panel, the Sri Sri School of Yoga is delighted to partner with the World Forum for Ethics in Business. During the course of our session, feel free to tweet, like, ask your questions on our YouTube or Facebook chat channels. We look forward to hearing from you throughout the session. Today's session is titled The Power of Yoga for Natural Health and Well-Being. Now, we didn't ask for a pandemic, but we were thrown into one. Such is life. On a daily basis, we are asked to rise up to challenges all around us. In this ever-demanding world, how do we ensure that we remain at our best? We are powerhouses of talents, yet sometimes the world overwhelms us. Over here, the concept of wellness has transformed. It's simply become a way of life for us. And when we talk about wellness, it's very important to talk about yoga. It tops the charts as one of the most sought after offerings. Our esteemed panel of speakers today explore and enlighten us on various aspects of yoga and how it can truly make a difference in our life. I'm Vasudha Vijay, your moderator for today. I have had the blessing of having 15 years of work experience in the wellness field as a trainer, and I've had the ability to support so many people throughout the Middle East and Asia in my work as a wellness coach, yoga trainer, corporate trainer, and a healing therapist. This is truly the path where I found my calling. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to the first and one of our most prestigious guests and speakers of this evening. He's known as Professor Dr. B.R. Sharma. He's currently the Dean and Faculty of Health and Wellness at the Sri Sri University. Dr. Sharma is an academician having more than 35 years of experience in the field of yoga, education, research, and he's been honored and awarded various national and international associations for his lifetime achievements in the field. With the World Health Organization, he's drafted the benchmarks for training and yoga and is still rendered as one of the best in the field. For more than 33 years, he's also placed himself in various capacities as head of philosophical literary research in the Yoga and Principle of Yoga College and Cultural Synthesis. He's also been nominated as a member of various prestigious government committees and also the Ministry of Ayush with the Government of India. Having such years of experience in his field, he has 13 books in collaboration to his credit and also 50 research papers published in renowned journals. Without any further ado, I welcome Dr. Sharma to give us his thoughts on the field.
Thank you very much. And my namaste, my pranam to everyone connected with us, all the viewers and all the panelists. My topic today is the power of yoga for natural health, healing and wellness. So before I open my presentation, I would like to say a few words that in this age of science and technology, if we observe the health state of mankind, we have to accept that in spite of various advancements in the field of healthcare, we are losing our axis of balance and harmony at all levels: physical, mental, emotional, ethical, social, and spiritual. And presently, what we are doing, we are opting one pathy or the other, just with a view to overcome our psychophysiological problems at the superficial level, without going to the roots of these problems that may give us temporary relief but cannot provide a permanent solution. Therefore, there is a need of the hour is to find out the deep underlying roots of the inner disturbances of man, so that we can live at ease within and with our social environment. Yoga basically is a science of spirituality, has recently been recognized widely as a science of health and healing throughout the world for managing various psychophysiological problems of man. And you might be knowing the sage Patanjali, who has written this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, whose work is in the field of human psychology, is recognized in what you call, I will share my I have to open this. I don't know. It is already open. Yes. Yes. Is it visible to you? So, he has given us the techniques or to find out the roots of our inner disturbances, and also he has provided us the procedures, the techniques with a view to maintain our psychophysiological balance. So, if I talk in terms of health, our yoga or Indian thought does not divide man in watertight compartments. It considers man as a whole, encompassing body, mind, and spirit. Now here, the spirit aspect of our true realm, which naturally tends towards the peace and harmony, but the body mind both, they belongs to the realm of prime matter, but we used to call it prakriti. But this mind part, as you see, this mind part, it can participate in the body as well as the spirit. If it participates in the body, it can lead us to the imbalance in the psychophysiological functions. But if it is connected to the spirit aspect, then it can maintain even the, what you call this, body-mind complex, balance in the body-mind complex. So this is, so the root cause of our all problems lies in the mind, because if the mind is agitated, if we are disturbed, it disturbs the functioning of the pranic energy, and thereafter this, if it prolongs for a long period of time, then body refuses to cope and it gets manifested in the form of various psychosomatic problems. So this is the root cause of our all what we call the problems. Now, because time is only 8 minutes, so I have to. So that it has given us, the yoga gives us a what you call the two sets of mechanism. First is the cleansing the body-mind complex. Each and every practice of yoga helps some way or other in cleansing. Not only the Shat Kriya is only the cleansing processes, but each, as Patanjali himself has said, in the 28th sutra of the second chapter, Yoganga Anushtanat, when you follow this eightfold path of yoga, all kinds of impurities will be eliminated, and at the same time there is a light of wisdom. In the light of wisdom, you will be able to understand your own existence, who you are. This is what the Patanjali makes it clear. So not only the Shat Kriyas or the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam or the other things, this is the one part that each and every practice of yoga somewhere or other helps us in eliminating the impurities, whether it is in the form of what you call the external or internal. All impurities can be eliminated with the help of this. Is the first mechanism given by yoga. The second one is the nourishment. So the what kind nourishment, not only limited to the food which we consume in the form of food, but what kind of food through the sensory organs, the sensory inputs we are taking, that is also considered to be the food. Food is not only the substance, but this is also considered to be what you call the food. So what kind of food we have to provide that makes sense to maintain the psychophysiological balance. The other thing is that coming to the point, the yogic postures, it is not only the posture, as Patanjali himself has said, say Sukhamasanam, it is not the steady and comfortable, but when you are in a noble thought for a long period of time, that can also be considered as a asana. Let us take one example of Padmasana, the lotus posture. Lotus posture, it grows in a muddy water, but the muddy water cannot touch the lotus leaf. The raindrops, they cannot. If we have to, as in Arjuna, when he was instructed by Lord Krishna, you have to live like a lotus, how to implement this in our day-to-day life? So the muddy water is that whatever the images, the storehouse we have, the different memories, where all memories are stored up in on our consciousness, on our chitta. So because of this reason, we are unable to see the object as it is. So our perception is hampered. So we have to develop an awareness with the help of which we can remain above that muddy water, that the memory or the impressions which are stored up. Above that, we have to keep ourselves above that. And day-to-day life, when we are interacting with the outer world, what happens? Knowingly, unknowingly, we go on gathering certain impressions. So at the time of bed, when we are going to the bed, we have to sit. That swadhyaya is coming. That we have to self. What is conducive for my upliftment? What is not conducive? So whatever is conducive, that is to be kept, and which is not conducive, that should slip from our consciousness. As the raindrop, they slip from the lotus leaf. This is what is to be learned out of this. So this is what, so the posture is not only a physical posture, although it is helpful because it creates a coordination between all the systems. It is a kind of rejuvenation and it is a deep relaxation. It is not only help us to give massage to the external muscles, but also the internal muscles, our endurance and other things. It is established fact. And when you are at that state of coordination, calmness and quietness prevails. Now, emotional regulations are also how to regulate the emotions. Emotion is a power. If we make use of it, we can reach to the heights. But if the emotion is not controlled properly, then it can take us to the hell also. So with the help of this prayer, as Gurudev used to say, that this seva satsang, seva satsang, what you call, and seva satsang, this is what. So with the help of this kind of prayer, chanting of mantras and devotional sessions also, it can help us to regulate our emotions. At the same time, certain do's and don'ts in the form of yamas and niyamas, it is very much famous, so no need to go into detail. Also, sleep regulation is also to be maintained somewhere or other. I'm sorry, it is not moving. Yes. So now coming to the mind management, I would like to quote here the first commentator of Yoga Sutra, Vyasa Bhashya we used to call it. Vyasa has written a great commentary wherein he has said, wherein our mind stuff, we used to call it chitta, is equated with the river. This river flows in two directions, usually, and that is what he says, klishta and aklishta. This is the two, what you call the flows. Generally, it flows towards the me and mine. I would give you one example. The Arjuna was a great warrior. When he saw his own great grandfather, his own teacher, his own kith and kins, and at the same time, the stimulation came, and he has correlated himself that this is me, Arjuna, and they are mine. So this me and mine thought only can take us toward the that side which you call endless pain and misery. But aklist, other side is, that is, if we are positive, if we are thinking that we are taking everything from this mother nature, even this breath is being taken freely without any cost, we are breathing. So everything is being provided to us by mother nature, So if this thought is there, I think systematically, if we train our mind systematically, this flow can be re-channelized, diverted towards the other side. So at this moment, so long this flow is toward the sensory pleasure, towards the me and mine only, then it creates problems, psychophysiological imbalances. But if this, what you call, flows in the other direction, I am also made up of 5 elements, others are also made up of 5 elements, I am a part and parcel of this cosmos. So if this kind of understanding is developed, somewhere or other cultivated, then I think that we can re-channelize, redirect the flow of our consciousness towards that side, which can help us. So it cannot take place without the swadhyaya, without the self-analysis. We have to understand who am I. So with a view to analyze this, who am I am not body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. All these instruments are inert instruments. As you know, the moon does not have its own light, it takes the light from the sun. Similarly, all these instruments are taking the light from the pure conscious phenomena, what we call. So this mind is to be managed properly, systematically, it is to be trained, and that may help us. And see, and pranayam can help us a lot, wherein when you are, both the nostrils, they are not working together. Sometimes our right nostril works. When the right works, our left hemisphere is inactive. Whenever our right is active. So we have to develop a balance in both these. And pranayama technique, it helps us beautifully. Even in Hatha Pradipika, there is one traditional Hatha yogic text which says, Chale bate chalam chittam nischale nischalam. So long your breathing is moving, your mind is moving. So with a view to check the speed of our mind, let us check the speed of our breathing. It will help us a lot. And this is what, in short, it is a great subject. We'll discuss sometime, another time. So I will talk of the self. So when there is a flexibility and body is active, calm and composed mind, positive thinking, regulated emotions, action in relaxation, and blissful awareness. This automatically increases our healing aspect. Automatically, this heals automatically us. Now, beautifully said, while introducing, Basudaji has said that wellness is nothing, but it is a way of life. And it is so therefore, we should not hesitate. We should respect ourselves. Number one, we should respect ourselves. Number one, get help from whenever there is a need. You should not hesitate to get help from others. Okay, take care of your body. Avoid intoxicants. Learn how to deal with the, what you call this, deal with this stress. This is to be understood. Company of a good people, that is to be satsanga, we used to call it. Quiet your mind. Whenever you find that your mind is agitated, immediately concentrate on the breathing and you will see, you will be able to check the speed of your mind. Set realistic goals. Don't go to the realistic goal should be. So all these things, if we follow in toto in our day-to-day life, better immune functioning, speedier recovery, and increased longevity also automatically take place. So this is the concluding. Health, according to me, is a balance of psychophysiological functioning. And I used to call samadhi is not that state where you have to sit in one corner of the room while closing your eyes. Samadhi is that when your personality is totally integrated, that is called samadhi. And vyadhi is when there's an imbalance, where that is a dis-ease, according to me. This is my, so this is what, and I think that we have to keep our body relaxed all the time. Let us keep our breathing slow all the time. If you develop this awareness, calmness and quietness of the mind are the key factors for healthy life and wellness. This is what I wanted to tell. Only one thing I would like to add. I know that I have exceeding the time. One thing, yoga is a bulletproof jacket. Dear friends, those who are, I am talking with the viewers now, please wear this bulletproof jacket, you will not be harmed. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to share my views with you. But in this a short time, it is very difficult. So thank you very much once again, Vasudha ji. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Professor. What a wealth of wisdom in a limited time. Only you could do it. So much learning. Wearing a bulletproof jacket of wellness and yoga is going to be our tagline for the summit today. I would love to always take away some impact points. So really, the doctor has redefined yoga for us, like understanding it as a state of holistic well-being. So much power there. And he's taught us that at every level, body, mind, emotion, or even social or occupational, the yogic techniques and knowledge really do provide the necessary tools to be the best version of ourselves. And just like him, as much work as we do on the outside to get success, we also need to put so much work in our inner world to build that resilience, strength, inner peace. So tell us your takeaways on Twitter and Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. And then I'll take you forward to another fantastic speaker coming up ahead. Our next speaker is Ms. Zsuzsanna. She's currently the president of the Association of Hungarian Yoga Teachers. She graduated as a Vaishnava theologian and a yoga master. She teaches yoga asanas and pranayamas and subjects to prospective yoga teachers at the Bhakti Vedana College. Since 2020, she is the president of the Association of Hungarian Yoga Teachers, and she also coordinates yoga festivals and yoga conferences in Hungary. We can't wait to hear from you.
Namaste, Hari Om. Thank you for the honorable invitation. It's extremely inspiring that so many wonderful people work together around the world to create and add value to the world. So thank you. And I have a question. In the last 1 year, have you been worried about something? And in the last week and yesterday? Worry stems from fear of change, fear of the unknown. We don't know what will happen to our work. We don't know what will happen to our loved one, what will happen to our health. We feel the ground slip from under our feet. Did you know that Professor Dolkan, a neurosurgeon, says 5 minutes of nervousness can starve the immune system for 6 hours. 6 hours is a very long time, especially if a pandemic is going on around us. External conditions are changing too fast, and we cannot keep up with these changes. We don't have enough strength to do it, or we just think so. It's a big difference. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the basic works of yoga, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception or skin of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. After winter comes summer, and then winter again. After the unhappiness comes happiness, then again unhappiness, and so on. This is the law in the material world. And let me tell you a story. Once an Indian princess visited a Hindu sage with a ring she had received from her father. He asked him to engrave in the ring a wisdom, that it provides consolation on sad days, it encourages in difficult situations, and in happy periods it warns against caution. The sage returned the ring a few days later. He engraved only one word, passes. What's the lesson? Whatever situation you are in, it's only temporary. It can change at any time, so don't worry. In the material world, this order, every time it's created, lasts for a while, then is destroyed. It's constantly changing, even our body. Krishna says also, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. This verse is about the reincarnation. Because of things that are constantly changing, we may feel helpless and vulnerable. We have no influence on what happens. But this is not true. Do you know what we have the biggest impact on? For ourselves, to our own body, our thoughts, our emotions. You are the biggest influencer of your own life. Let's not make our own happiness dependent on external things because they are always changing. Therefore, we must not look for security, for stability in material things, but in something that is eternal. And what is eternal? You, the soul, and God, the Brahman. So the starting point of everything is you, the wonderful soul, Satchit Ananda, in eternally existing, full of knowledge and happy soul. This is the nature of the soul. How God does it sound? If that's not exactly what you are feeling right now, it's perfectly normal. So much has happened to us, so much has covered our knowledge and happiness. But how do we get to implementation? Yoga will help you with that. If you are a skeptic now, let me tell you that yoga is thousands of years old and works. The best proof of that is that it's still with us. If it didn't work, we would have forgotten a long time ago, believe me. From this, you can already guess that yoga is really about more than just being able to put my feet behind my head. Yoga means relationship, unity with myself and the Supreme. And what can yoga give us? Read the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Sutras, find a yoga teacher and find out who you are and how the world works. The light of knowledge dispels the darkness of ignorance and fear. It gives strength and courage. What we know is no longer afraid. We know how to handle it. It also helps to see our own situation clearly. Don't think that yoga is old. The good advice described many, many years ago is no longer valid today. The message of yoga is timeless. We can draw from it and build on it in all circumstances. In addition to theory, we can also get a lot of practical advice that we can apply to our own lives. This is Jnana Yoga, the yoga of transcendental knowledge. Second, practice asana and pranayama exercises. This will help keep your body healthy and young. Learn to control your mind, your thoughts, your emotions with meditation. This leads to the true freedom. Because what is the true freedom? It's not when I drift with the tides, the events. True freedom is when I rise above them. This is called Ashtanga Yoga or Raja Yoga. Third, if we make friends with ourselves, if we feel good, we will be able to selflessly help others as well. If more and more people feel good, we will already find ourselves in a better world. The prettier world begins with you. And of course, the more you give, the more you get back. This is Karma Yoga. Then if we have learned to love ourselves and then all other created beings, we can also learn to love God. Let us entrust ourselves to His care. This is Bhakti Yoga. You can learn all this through yoga, so don't worry. And you don't even have to believe it. Give it a try. Find a teacher and ask, inquire, practice. Daily 10 minutes per day, it can work wonders. This is your responsibility. Get started today and remember, you are the biggest influencer of your own life. I wish you to experience it too. Namaste. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace for everyone. Thank you.
Absolutely inspiring words. Often experiences move us, but true yogis can even make their knowledge and words inspire us. It was so beautiful, Jujana. So honestly, your whole talk was 85 points for me, but I'm remembered of a statement that Shri Ravi Shankar has said before, that a strong mind can carry a weak body, but a weak mind cannot even carry a strong body. So that was such a wealth of experience of how we can use yoga to develop a stronger body and mind, and putting the responsibility in our hands, that I'm my biggest influencer. It is my responsibility to make my mind and body better is so empowering, and just the knowledge that everything is changing. So this will also change, and it's just as easy as finding a yoga teacher and taking the steps forward. So what a wonderful presentation. I really can't wait for more. So I introduce you to our next fabulous speaker, and I'm happy to see a very close friend as well, Miss Victoria. She is currently a faculty with the Shri School of Yoga Europe. She's a communication specialist by first profession, but Victoria has over 14 years of experience in yoga teaching, meditation teaching to different levels of societies and in various countries too. She's currently a faculty of the yoga school in Europe, and she teaches and mentors teacher training programs and advanced yoga retreats. Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you, Masuda, for the introduction. I'm really honored to be here today and share some thoughts and insights on yoga for decision makers and the responsibility of being equanimous. During these trying times, the role of decision makers is even more crucial because their decisions affect people's livelihoods and lives as well. Among such uncertainty, what can yoga offer to aid the decision-making process? Let me begin with this image. The water drop in the middle is the impulse that creates the thoughts. Then the thoughts are creating more thoughts and more thoughts, and it ripples through. Just close your eyes for a moment and observe the thoughts in your mind. You may open your eyes. Could you see how many waves of thoughts have been arising, not just ripples, but waves of thoughts arising in the mind? Every moment, so many thoughts are coming to the mind, and at such a speed. When ripples are there on the surface of the water, can we see a reflection in the water? Can we see the depth in the water? No, because the mind is not clear. When the mind is not clear, then decision-making is very difficult because all those thoughts are pulling us into all kinds of different directions. And management begins in the mind. When we are able to manage the mind, then we are able to manage everything else. But what is the mind? The mind is the perceiving faculty through which we get information from the world around us. The mind is only one layer of our existence, yet we identify ourselves with the thoughts so many often. I am my thought, or I am what I think about. I am good because I have good thoughts, or I am bad because I have bad thoughts. But we are so much more than the thoughts. So we have 7 levels to our existence, which are the body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and the self. Yoga attends to all these levels of existence through various techniques. And today I would focus more on the thoughts and on the mind. Yoga is restraining the thought waves in the mind. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. It is in Sanskrit as Patanjali Maharishi enunciated in his Yoga Sutras. When the thought waves are restrained, then we are abiding by the nature of the seer or the self. What does this mean? We are at peace, we are equanimous, we experience joy and love. Tada drashtu svarupe vasthanam. But what are these thought waves? So there are 5 in number. These are called the vrittis. The first one is pramana, the correct knowledge. And we gain correct knowledge in 3 different ways. Through proofs, through perception, inference or reasoning, we can guess, or validation or competent evidence, which can be anything that is published, peer-reviewed journals, for example. Then viparya, the wrong knowledge, it is perceived, it is formed by perceiving a thing as being other than what it is in reality. And this difference between what reality is and how we think it should be, we can define it as stress. So what is reality and what is the truth? Reality or truth never changes. When we look around, and even Zsuzsanna mentioned, nature changes. Everything changes, even the waves in the ocean change. Our emotions, our thoughts change constantly. When we look in the mirror, we see a lot of changes are happening all the time. But how do we know this? We know this because there is a reference point. Something must be unchanging. And that what is unchanging is the truth. And that is the self. Do you get this subtle difference? And another note here, and Professor already touched upon this point, the perception. When we can perceive things clearly, when the senses are clear, in other words, the body is cleansed, then our perception is proper. then the body is functioning more properly, and the faculty, the mind, is getting proper information from all around the world. Ancient yogic practices include different ways of cleansing, purifying, and detoxing the body. And these have a profound effect in the purification of the mind, in the clarity of the mind. Moving on with the thought waves, the next one is Recalpa. We can call it daydreaming or imagination. And these can be either some basal spheres, maybe you're afraid of heights, or some joyful fantasies. So these don't have any reality in existence. Then the next one is Nidra, or the dreamless sleep. It's kind of a void. And the fifth is Smriti, the memory. It is recollection of our experiences. And we spend so much time in the memory, in the past, thinking of the past. And this is what prevents us from being present, completely here in the moment. So how do we overcome these? Good news is there are only two things required to restrain the thought waves in the mind. The first one is practice. Of course, Maharishi Patanjali explains how the practice should be. The second is dispassion, or being free from desires or non-attachment. I would like to share a few tips what practice could be. So maintain silence for 2 minutes every day, because silence is where creativity comes from. Be in silent observation or doing some simple things, seemingly insignificant things every day. For example, eat your food with attention and awareness. Just be with the smell of the food. Look at the color of the food and taste the food, and don't do anything else. Not even thinking or looking at the phone or watching TV. This will raise the awareness. Then just look at your life from the consciousness, from the vastness of space and time. This heightens the awareness as well. How many millions and millions of years passed by? And finally, I would recommend meditation, dhyana, and breathwork, pranayama, because the breath has so many secrets. It offers so much. When the mind is difficult to handle from the level of the mind, and Professor already mentioned this, then use the breath. When you catch yourself thinking, and again, the thoughts are pulling in all kinds of different directions, use the breath. Just close your eyes and attend to the breath. And then the breath will slow down, and we got into a more focused state. My wonderful colleague Barbara is going to guide us through a few practices, so we all get to experience the power of the breath. Also, the breathing pattern changes when the emotions change. In Belgium, there was a study also conducted. But what we need to take away from this is that we breathe differently when we are having different emotions, but with the breath, we can also affect the emotions. Everything starts and ends with the individual, but everything starts with the individual, so that when we are at peace, we can create a peaceful environment around us. People will feel it because we communicate so much more through our presence, our vibration, more than our words. The other meaning of the ripple of the water is this: we all have a responsibility to creating this peace inside. It will pass through our family, our community, our workplace, our industry, and eventually the entire humankind. Yoga means union inside and outside as well. Thank you. Namaste.
One great presentation after another. Thank you so much, Victoria. just expanding our minds to the deeper truths of the world around us and learning that our ancient yogis were really like scientists, right? Bringing a roadmap into better body, mind, and spirit, and just the importance of how a decision maker today has so much on his shoulders, and to build the necessary soft skills for a peaceful, dynamic leadership style. Yoga is so important. Thank you so much. So we jump right into a fantastic experiential practice session of yoga with our next presenter, Miss Barbara. Barbara holds a university degree in psychology, and she's been supporting over 1,500 entrepreneurs and companies in success processes as a coach and trainer. At the TLEX Institute, she's a consultant and trainer with more than 10 years of experience in the field of mindfulness, leadership, and team development. Let's practice some yoga together.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Yeah, good, excellent. So in each yoga session, in each panel, when we speak about yoga, we cannot miss the experience, because yoga is experience. Yoga is a way of life, as we just heard from our excellent speakers. So there is a secret when we go into the practice. The secret is bring your awareness completely to the present moment. Bring your awareness to your breath and to your body. Okay? As we have some minutes, let's start some stretching. We will start immediately with one stretching. We will do desktop yoga today. Okay? Place directly your right palm next to the right hip. Your left arm stretch to the left with full awareness. Stretch your arm up. While breathing out, you push your left hip down, you bend your right elbow, and you bend to the right side and stretch your arm. Stretch your arm and pull your left hip down. So in this position, you can feel the stretch in the whole left side. Your palm is completely stretched, your finger too, even you cannot see mine. While breathing in with full awareness, come back. Breathing out, bring your arm down. Now change. Left palm next to the left hip. Right arm, stretch the right and bring it up. Stretch it up. Bend your left elbow, push your right hip down into the place where you are sitting and bend to the left side. Stretch your whole right side, right? You are bending diagonal to the left and you are stretching the whole right side. Soft breathing, be aware of your breath. Breathing in, slowly come back. Come back. Breathing out, bring your arm down. What we can do when we bend to the side, we can also turn our body, okay? So now you can stretch your right arm up and you can place it on the chair, or if you're as small as me, you can place also your palm behind your hips, okay? Place your left palm on the right thigh. Breathe in and stretch up, stretch your spine up. While breathing out, turn to the right side and look over your right shoulder. Take a soft, deep breathing. Be aware of your breath. Breathing in, stretch up. Breathing out. If there is a space, you turn a little more to the right. While breathing in, slowly come back to the center. Relax and now change. Left palm, you stretch your arm, you place the arm on the chair, or as I did before, behind your hips on the chair. Right palm on the left thigh. Breathe in, stretch your spine up, shoulder down, and then turn to the left side. And look over your left shoulder. Soft, deep breathing. Bring your awareness completely to the breath and to the position. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathing out, turn to the left. Slowly, while breathing in, come back to the front. I will show you one more technique. When we go to the side, we turn. It is good to bend to the front. So what you can do, even in sitting between some sessions at your work, you can do something. You stretch your arms to the front, you bring your arms back, and what you are doing, you bring your palms together and palms facing your body. Okay, so as you can see, you push your chest to the front, shoulder back, and shoulder blades are coming together. You take a soft deep breath in and bring your head back. While breathing out, you go to the front and you go as deep as possible. I will stay in this position so they can see me and you can hear me, but you can go down as deep as possible. Okay, you can even bring your chin to the chest and stretch your arms. This position is so powerful to lose all the stress and fear which often stays in the chest area. Soft breathing. While breathing in, bring your head up. Bring your arms up and come up with your upper body. While breathing out, relax the position, bend your elbows, and first then relax your hands. Okay? Take a soft deep breath in and out. Let's do one thing more for our neck. Breathe in. While breathing out, bring your chin to the chest. And now, because of the time, we will go really, really slowly. We'll go only for one exercise. Be really carefully and slowly breathing in. Bring your head to the right shoulder and back. And go as much as possible. If you have some pain, don't go further. Breathing out, go to the left and front. Soft breathing. One more circle. In, right, and back. Be really careful with this movement. Breathing out. Left and to the front. Being at the front, change the direction. Breathing in. Go to the left and back. In, then out, right and front. Yes, last time. In, left and back. Out, right and front. While breathing in, bring your head up. Sit comfortable with spine stretched. When we are listening from 1 o'clock already to the different panels, then it's time to do something energizing. I will show you one really easy exercise, breathing exercise, Bellows breath. In the yoga practice, you can even start with this exercise. So it is really good what we do. You will bring the elbows next to your body. The palms are in soft fists and we are breathing only through the nose with forced breath. We will move with forced movement. While breathing in, we will bring your arms up and you will open the palms. Okay? 1 second so that you can see better. Yes. Breathing in, bring your arms up, open your palms. Breathing out, forced, bring your arms down, close the palms. Let's start. Take a soft deep breath in. You can close your eyes. And out. And let's start. In, arms up, out, down. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. in, out. And relax. Relax your palms. Soft breathing. Let's go for the second round. Take a soft deep breathing. And out. And in, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. And relax. Relax. Take a soft deep breath in and out. And we will finish with the last round. So always when you go for the exercise, you will do 3 rounds. Take a soft deep breath in and out. And in, out. In, out. In, out. And relax. Relax your palms. For 5 seconds, let your eyes close. Become aware of your breath. And when you are practicing at home, even for 5 minutes, let your eyes closed for a moment to experience the stillness. Because then you will experience your true nature.
Thank you so much, Barbara. It's been beautiful. After all this knowledge, to have an actual experience, I think it's definitely rooted our belief and understanding that yoga is the way ahead to build true resilience, find inner peace and joy that we need to combat this pandemic and post-pandemic world. Yoga is the way. Thank you so much to all our wonderful speakers, and I hope all the viewers are taking back a wealth of information. We would love to continue this important conversation with you in the months to come. So we request you to be in touch with us, follow the various World Forum for Ethics in Business social media properties. And we are really delighted that the World Forum for Ethics in Business invited us to this global event. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you at the next event very soon.